Oh, goody. We're live. Uh, doubt anyone's here yet. Mm. Uh, just kind of like all over the place right now. Mine's like, just, uh, they kept me awake again last night. This time, they started with some synchronous stuff. Um, just nudging. Oh yeah, we put all this evidence in all these past movies that we're gonna do 9/11. The moon landing's fake. The moon's a hologram. The Romans had way more advanced technology than they're letting on, man. Like, you might say, like, well, iJuggs. What about tides? What about tides? How tides work if there's no moon? Atlantis. The Atlanteans were even more advanced than the Romans, and when their continent sank, when they built too much, all that machinery under the ocean, just turning everything up, and that's what causes the tides. And you get on my level, man. Fuck's sake. Like, there's a self-awareness of like how yeah, they're keeping me awake. Like, it's real. It's actually real. And I don't know, man. I figured we'd start with like a good filter. First minute and a half, and just when I make coffee, and I got coffee. I got coffee over here. Only thing keeping me alive right now. When I make coffee, I like to use this thin piece of paper that separates the things I want from the things I don't. Yeah. Um, my dad got a Keurig machine, because apparently he hates the planet, and I don't know. It's just weird because I have to make one cup of coffee at a time. I used to drink, like 3, 5, 20 cups of coffee a day. Not actually 20, but now I'm like down to 1. I slip back up to 2. I know, and fucking Illuminati is like, you horrible person. uh, it's not my subconscious telling me that. It's not my synchronized brain, communicating with itself. But how self-conscious I am, and how much I hate myself, because self-esteem that's not real. It's clearly not real. Self-esteem can't be real because I don't have any, so obviously no one else does. I got my chillin' shirt on. I was in the hospital with this shirt. I like tie-dye. When I wear camouflage, I wear my glow-in-the-dark camouflage, so I'm so conspicuous that normal people just avert their eyes. I had to turn the AC off because I was worried that there'd be 2 noises in the background at all times. I'm gonna do this for 3 hours. Now that's what fucking God told me to do. That's what I'm doing. I don't have free will. Fucking free will is a skill my ass. And actually, it is. You walk down a new road every day. Eventually you'll be able to navigate to any destination you want. Let me just type in the chat, see if this works. FGS. What do I type? FGS FGS. There we go. And I'm gonna get some old memes because I'm so disconnected from normal normal culture right now. I went on when I played Minecraft yesterday, and I went on try to find some server with like a Discord, and the people out there just blah 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 blah, and I'm just okay, words. Like, I don't know how to communicate with people because fucking memes. That's all I talked about was memes. Every third sentence was another meme. I'm like fighting like crying right now, but it's not what my messianic delusions are. They're not like a complete coping mechanism to, shut off my hypothalamus. I'm really lonely. No, I'm not going to talk about that. We're not getting we're 5 minutes in. We're not having a breakdown yet. I'm looking at my camera, and I got a shitty camera. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry I'm poor, but it's I see there's a static in it. It's becoming real. It's sending messages to me. John Nash. You know John Nash, right? He's like that guy from Beautiful Mind. He's someone who could like look you in the eye and tell you that a game is a system with a predefined success and failure state, which are determined by strategic inputs by the player. When strategy is defined as the intelligent application and manipulation of material and immaterial resources within the system in order to attain or maintain the select state of said system. Yeah, he had these weird delusions that the fucking CIA was like controlling him, or he was like working with them or something. Like, what the fuck? Like, obviously, guy's delusional. I mean, he overturned, centuries. Adam Smith of economic principle, and he's fucking crazy. He wasn't like doing cryptography or anything. I have theories of like what he was actually doing. Like you always see like schizophrenic people, they have, or just like the trope of crazy people. They got like shit plastered on the walls, there's string tied to everything, and it's like he was clearly like I think what they did in A Beautiful Mind, they like told the truth, like everything is true, but like they like hid it, like they always do, like the fucking Matrix propaganda, like fucking everything is. And um they like he went with to the military, and that whole thing where he's like looking in front of the board, like that was just a test, like can he crack our codes, and it wasn't Russians or anything, like, it's American fucking their work. And because why the fuck would you bring in a civilian to do work on classified projects? Like you would have to filter him first. um and so like obviously he passed the test. And then they gave him like actual work of like, hey, you're fucking smart. We want to see if our like codes and shit, if that actually like hides. And like they would have like they're obviously transmitting information in like the modern era. It like you can't hide it. Like you can't like have actually classified, hidden, top secret information. Like it's going to get leaked somehow. It just, the world's so interconnected. There's so much information you can't control it. So instead of like hiding it, like they just send out so much and hide it in the put it in plain sight where like normal people like wouldn't pick it up. It's what Magic Guys. Yeah, that's there's actual stuff in that. Like you do a Magic Guy and it has like football or something. You go look at the sports page and there's going to be like a message there. But yeah, that's what like fucking Nash was had to be doing. No confirmation of this, just capable of doing that. Yeah, I'm not even 10 minutes. Hey, there's someone here. Hey, JT, how are you? I just blabbed for about 9 minutes, just completely blew the lid on the whole Illuminati. Oh, thanks, man. As I already said, I was in the hospital with this shirt. I don't know, just a comfortable shirt, something I don't know, just figured tie-dye would be nice. Like I said, thanks. I'm only like completely nuts, but yeah, I've been up for they kept me up till like 4 o'clock in the morning, just like beaming information to my ears. I don't know how they do that. I don't know how they beam information into my ears or anything, but I don't know, I'm just a little loopy. It's hard to think when I have no sleep. I went to bed at like 4 and like I woke up at 4:03. You don't need to sleep. Like that's just the government's lying to you, man. This is a complete facade. This is me, just about to like break down and cry. But um, actually, like I say that, and I could feel the storm brewing. But yeah, yeah, Adult Swim like isn't propaganda or anything. uh, Gonna unplug my laptop just so the battery doesn't die like the last one did. Oh, I just got a head rush. That means I gotta get more coffee. Mm. I don't know if you hear my bed squeak. I feel it's like gonna break at any moment. Uh, what to talk about? Already spent my whole load in 11 minutes. Uh, what for doing something in my mind? Exactly. Like before you came, I told like the truth is like hidden in plain sight. I was talking about John Nash and how his work he would have been like trying to crack the codes, tell them how to like improve their cryptography, and like the whole thing with like string like connecting ideas. It's if you're hiding something in the modern age, you're doing it wrong. You can't hide it. You got to hide it in plain sight. So like if you're putting like if you're in the hospital, I had a counselor, talk to me, and he like asked, so like, who's your handler? I'm like, handler? There's no handler. You don't need A to B and B to A. If B is receptive, all you need is A to B, and like transmit. So like, if you got someone who knows that, there's going to be information in Time Magazine and the New York Times. If like I put those two things together, I can get the message, and that's like what he would have been doing. They would have just told him, "Hey, Mr. Nash, we got some information we're hiding in plain sight. We're not going to tell you where. Go find it." Like, how else would you test if your cryptography is actually competent or not? Like, can we hide plain information from like the smartest people in the world? Like, I believe that I don't know what I believe. Like some part of me thinks that like the whole 13 families thing is real and like the world's like kind of going against there. Another part of me thinks world leaders after World War II, when we were sprinting towards World War III, are like, okay, nope, we're creating a facade. Everything's going to be a lie. I just say he's my best friend. I would just name characters after the people they represent. And Nurla the Saint is my best friend, Arlene Sanchez. I have no idea what that means, but I'm sure it'll in the next couple days or minutes or whatever. Ah. Um still doesn't I'll get it. I'll get it. Don't worry. It always happens this way. They send me information I never pick up on until like a day later, and then I feel like an idiot because I said something stupid. But yeah, that's the point. Fucking moon landings are fake. mm, amazing work that uh, fucking aliens are making me do. God is a digital space virus made a language. You know, there's okay. I want to talk about this because like I have something. Yeah, I have something I wanted to talk about, and I was gonna make a video or whatever. There's three gods. You can divide it into more, but like I'm gonna say there's three. There's God. Big G, big G God, and that's all of us. That's I am He is me, and we are all together. There's the whole garden that's divided as one unity consciousness. That's God outside time and space. Then there's God, big G but littler. There, that's the digital space riders. That's like the angels that actually work in here. Like this one time, I was pissed off at some people, and I was gonna like text something that would burn all the bridges. I was just gonna spit pure venom at them, it was a clear blue sky, completely clear. And as I'm doing this, walking outside, there's a single raindrop comes down, hits the phone, hits the back button on my phone. I don't even know if that's possible. And there's some burning bushes that have happened in my life. There's some things, I could say, yeah, that's the CIA, that's the NSA, that's fucking deep state, whatever. There's some things not explainable. Um, yeah, and then there's God, little G. There's humans doing the work. Uh, mm, gotta keep talking. Oh yeah, gotta make noise. It's how you prove you're a sane person in 21st century America. Um, when I was in college, the Department of Defense was working on a script for quantum computer. I helped fix it and do everything for it if they summoned me, as if they summoned me. Yeah, I mean, uh, when I was at the cult, which wasn't like a reprogramming school or anything. Um, there was a guy I met. He's making like the center stage at Burning Man, like makes mutant vehicles and stuff. And he started talking about like all this stuff about how like they were pulling entities out of like the quantum matrix of like the fabric of the universe and like putting them into chips, and like that's like what AI was. uh, I mean, the level of technology that people think we have is like the level of technology we had back in the 70s. There's no way that the commercial sector would have, access to what's actually possible. Like back when like Rome collapsed, they obviously rolled back the technology because, uh, they were building steam engines back then. They had steam engines back in fucking in ancient Greece. Uh, And like in a post Hitler post nuclear world, like obviously they're gonna like hide shit as best as they can, like pull it, um, create an in group and have like them work with it. Anyone who showed capacity for like extreme knowledge would be like, hey, you're working with us. You're not working out there. You're working with us. Um, that's how like you network. Red pill, blue pill. I didn't even know they had nanotechnology. I don't either. Like, what do I know? I'm blue pill. Alchemists. Yeah, I mean, like that's the most like basic level technology that's hidden. Like hundreds of thousands of years ago, humans would have been alchemists. Like, what technology? What do you know then? You know, like a lot about plants. You know a lot about animals. You know a lot about the world. You also know a lot about humans. You would have shamans who would know how to reprogram people. And it's alchemy. Uh, and like people think like these ideas, the esoteric ideas, are you know nutcase or just um, wrong, whatever. It's There's so much hidden in plain sight. Where you know your mind is like it's like a pile of sand, and each grain is a different experience, and it's constant. We're constantly getting fed new experiences, so like it falls into the pile, and like how it settles, how that configuration of sand is how your brain calculates, like paradigm, like it's the lens it uses to see the world through, like it filters other information from. There's so much hidden in plain sight. The plots of games and movies are attempts at the truth about what we see and can know. Yeah, I- if you're someone else is here. But like if like you watch Game of Thrones, like that last season, and you weren't picking up anything. You are dead asleep. Like, there's so much, like, um, Rick Sanchez, yeah, Rick and Morty is just propaganda. If it's reaching more than like 10,000 people, it's propaganda at this point. Billionaires meet in secret. Obviously, we only just now recognize it. I mean, there would have been conscious people back like in the Bilderberg meetings, like who would have realized this. But um, like I don't know, just uh, obviously at this position of the pyramid that I am, what the fuck do I know? Um, just extrapolating, and what's been, told to me, told, you know, uh, um, how can I say this? Da, 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 um, like there's like how I see a lot of the propaganda working. They put a truth next to a half truth next to a complete lie, and then like the people like normal culture, the body would just see all of it as lies or just bullshit, and then the conspiracy theorists would see all of it as truth. And so you get like this divide in culture where who's propagating what is just um, spreads and affects like what people think. It's like if they want the public to know a version of the truth, there's going to be people who feel something is off, and we can't accept it when it's off. Yeah, I mean, anything that's getting broadcasted to the masses would be designed around the objective effect it would have, not like actual truth, not what actually like happening. It's I beam this information into your head. What is that going to cause you to do? Is that going to cause you to rise up and become the next Hitler? Oh yeah, we're not going to broadcast that. Like it's just common sense. uh, and like if you're going to like have truth, just you're gonna put it like through the crazy people, Alex Jones. I'm gonna be the next Alex Jones. The frogs are gay, like Obama, that sociopath, approving that that uh they could release propaganda on 4chan to turn all the NEETs homosexual. What the fuck? Like that's not real. uh, uh, there's a lot of weird stuff out there. Aliens, like if there's actual intelligent life out there, um, it wouldn't be biological. Like you're not making it across, the gap in space is biology. You'd make it as light or digital information or something like that. Sarcastic aliens on Mars. Yeah. like, I would like to know a greater than human intelligence's perspective on humor. Like, what does the digital space virus like actually think is funny? 'Cause, like, what can I do? What use do I have? Let me whip out my balls here. What can I do? Besides, like, try and get a chuckle out of God. I think it's all fun. Yeah, I mean, universe is, it's what you see it as. It can be a comedy or a tragedy. Why would you see it as a tragedy? Why would you listen to the news talking about this orange man and get upset? Like, it's not real. Number one. Number two, you can, perceive it as whatever you want. Uh, like I was on this like Minecraft server last night. I was trying to like interact with people, like try to do this, like get some neurons to fire, reprogram myself. And I didn't because like, oh, I'm scared. And um, like they were talking about like Trump and stuff, and it's just like, ooh, this is the reality you live in. I mean, I live in a weird reality. It's been deliberately crafted. but it's more sane than what you believe in. If there's a cosmic joke, then there's cosmic jokers. Yeah, Trump is a clown playing fifth dimensional chess. He may end up with world peace as the fake news is making democratic socialism popular in its own ironic. Yeah, I mean, like, what are you gonna like? What effect is Trump gonna have? What effect is this administration gonna have? The pendulum's gonna go whoosh, and then we're gonna get hippie Starfleet, and we're gonna all go into communities, and we're just gonna have grand old time. You know, oh, I can't wait for that shit. It's gonna be. I have no idea what's coming, like tangibly what's gonna happen. I know it's gonna be fun. What will a juggler do? A writer, juggler, going to be rapping Jesus. Mm, there's fun. I love being hegemon. I'm also the edge of my seat. I'm also on the edge of my seat. Me too. Like just anticipating. No expectations. You know, I always have this like paranoid thought that like the Illuminati is making me, do all this so that like they can use me as like a scapegoat or something. But like at the same time, I'm like, they've invested so much into me. Like just every day they send me information like that, even if it's a bot, someone programmed that bot. It's mm, like I have no idea of when information would have started been collected. Like the like standardized testing. They obviously have that, and I know like stuff I wrote in like eighth grade and like the eighth grade like national test, whatever. Like I know that they would have had that and would have seen. Like I had a breakdown on that test, and like I talked about like my mom dying and stuff, and like I know they have that, and they have like a complete psychological profile of me, and it's like, mm, oh goody. They don't need to even observe me anymore. They can just simulate my mind in their giant supercomputers. Messiah candidates compete for dominance. I don't want to compete. I want to cooperate. It makes no sense to compete. I'm helping you ramble. It's good conversation over answer. Yeah, but thank you. I appreciate having the assistance because otherwise this would be complete madness. Like it's not already complete madness. Someone programmed the bot to tell me when you would go live. I'm glad for that. I drew a picture of a horse on my AP exams. People have seen my comics. Uh, I used to draw. I used to make murals. I used to make murals on like the lunch tables. Like I would just make like barnyard orgies. It's like the most fucked up thing I could. And like people would come in afterward and be like, "Oh my god!" Uh, like I was a disturbed child. Like, I had fun with it though. What else can you do? If you're this far on the bell curve, you just gotta laugh at yourself. Was all that capital? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if there's like a delay or anything, so I have no idea if like you're responding to what I just said. And like I said earlier on, the desynchronized brain I have is just, I look at something, I look at my phone, I see some numbers, it reminds me of some other numbers, and that reprograms me, and that's God talking to me. It's not like I saw this thing I saw last night. It wasn't sent to me. They don't they send me information through you know hidden channels, and this thing on um interstate and Back to the Future, Interstate and Back to the Future. They played some things like next to each other, and it was like completely synchronous. And it's like, oh yeah, they planned 9/11 a long time ago and hid it in plain sight. It's mostly legless. Okay, good. I'm good. I'm like completely manic. I'm glad because I couldn't do this shit. Depressed. What good is a stream? Myself. Like, I get that way sometimes, and it's the opposite of this. There's the times where I am Jesus Christ, and then there's the times where I am literally the lowest form of life on earth. Because there's no middle ground between that shit. Can't accept being anything else. My brain's weird. I like it. I like weird things. It's all the God state. Mania is the God state. Yeah, I mean, there's that age-old question. Could God microwave a burrito so hot he couldn't even eat it? Yep, that's me. I'm the immovable object and the whatever fuck the other one is at the same time. The universe gets depressed. All the genocide. Meh. I just think I in this state I can't get perturbed by like things like that. It's just like that's God just being a masochist and sadist at the same time. Like it's what pleasure could there be if there was no suffering? Like me neither. It's like we're like the same person. Yeah, it's like character archetypes. I had this thought. I had this thought before coming on. Hitler, Jesus, Alex Jones, same person. I what else does a messiah do besides rally all the crazy people and get them to buy their bullshit? Need more coffee. I'm starting to drift back into complete vegetation. I was a vegetable once. It lasted like 7 minutes. It wasn't fun. I wouldn't recommend it. They're fascist. I'm a fascist now. Eventually, people are going to recognize my absolute dominance. As a hegemon, I wield power absolute. That's what I seek in men. um, uh, uh, power. What is it? What the fuck is power? Like, we're the most powerful things on the planet. Look what we did. We made shopping malls. Everything's a shopping mall. That's what God does. You give God a little power, he makes everything concrete, asphalt. I don't know if this is true. Someone there's a flat earther from Belgium who told us all about like Europe and stuff. Said there was like no more forests, like everything was like cut down. Part of me can believe that after millenniums of development and stuff. Uh, I can believe a lot has been cut down. I can't believe like everything's been cut down, but that's what he said. It's something that was said by someone else. Uh, like wood quality nowadays is just horrible. Like you can't get good wood anymore because like there's no more like 8 old trees that are cutting down. They're all cutting new trees down, and it like warps like instantly. Uh, so like we need to like I don't get this whole like everything is carpentry. It's not sustainable. Is building a new cul-de-sac every other day is not sustainable. Um, like stuff like tri panel, like masonry, things like that. That needs to have a comeback. We need to like when we build our up and coming communities, we should probably think of sustainable long term ways to do that. Let's see what you say here. We're all human. What is power to a human? George Carlin said that much. Trees are the lungs of Mother Terra. Yeah, and we're chain smokers. Us ape creatures are just chain smokers. Uh, I'm gonna turn the planet into Venus. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, Mother Terra. Yeah, that doesn't work. I was gonna make it like a joke that Earth's trans or something. It needs to be, more feminine, but it's already female. uh, we're gonna terraform Mars. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but hopefully soonish. I have no idea the actual stability of the socio-political state of the world. Um, it can't be good. Like, we're obviously in a cold civil war. Uh, mm, like I've noticed like a lot of friends have been like moving. Like it's odd like how people are like going certain places. It, if this country were to suddenly like the powder keg we're on were to suddenly go off, it would obviously like cut like the country would just split in a very predictable manner. And I'm sure to preserve as much life as possible that people are getting nudged and manipulated to move to certain places so they're not surrounded by the opposite. um, mm. 36 minutes of complete rambling. It's going to go on for longer. I'm actually getting kind of lightheaded just talking so much. Not used to this. I'm used to silence every day. I'm getting out of that. I'm starting to rap and do videos and talk and stuff, and I can feel a tangible difference in like my mouth. Like learning Norwegian, like I don't know how to say this. Like I can feel like my tongue has more states, and thus I can enunciate better. That's cool. Mm. I believe the only apocalypse is an instantaneous one. They come without warning. A solar flare from the sun can end us, and the sun is sentient, watching us, making sure we do well. Yeah, this whole like I have this idea. It's completely no based on nothing, but I have this idea where like the universe started, and it started with like just a little bit of energy and a little bit of matter, and it's created one sun. And that sun created one solar system, and that created one habitable planet, and that created one intelligent species. And then they looked up into the void and said, "Yeah, let's make some more." Yeah, that's what's been going on. That's what dark matter is. I don't fucking know, but a lot of ideas being thrown out here. Uh, you're literally doing what Alex Jones did. Good, good. I'm glad I'm on a predictable trajectory. I'm good at predicting my own trajectory. Woo. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna talk about how the Illuminati is brainwashing me while actively juggling. What's dazzle camouflage? I don't know what that is. I dropped it. I'm the worst juggler in the world. And go hang myself. Not really. Maybe that'll be hung. Vlogging is going to save the earth. Yes. Not like, coming together and making tangible changes. Vlogging, which will, make people come together and make tangible changes, because God knows we won't save ourselves. I'm kind of bitter. Like I'm not. I don't want to be bitter, but I'm kind of bitter against like everybody. Yeah. I know this is propaganda. I know like this was actors, but in the fucking the fires in Lakeport, there were people watering their. They had a hose and they were watering their homes. Like, this is gonna protect me. Like I know that's actors. I know that's like setting stuff up to like part of me thinks it's set up directly for me, but that's just ego, and but to set up the narrative, but people in general, mm, mm, people are very smart. Mm. That's a powerful way of looking at it. You're making a tangible change and even experiencing the physical effects. Yeah, like I said, um, like I practice my rapping, and like um, like I realize like I'm basic level like fucking terrible, but like I can see things changing. Like I saw myself developing as a juggler, and I can see like there's times where like I'm practicing and it just boom, like a tangible, like constant flow. Everything's perfect, and it's like, oh, this is pretty neat. I'm gonna be able to do this in the future. I think the vast majority of people, no matter how smart, are not aware of the narrative. Being aware of the narrative makes you meta AF. Yeah. Um, like story time. How I got roped into working with the Illuminati. I was starting to create the final testament. I was creating like this thing that was going to parallel a Paradise Lost, just like an epic poem from the perspective of Belial, the liar, who was going to, like you read something, from that, and you're just like, oh, this isn't true, but like it makes you like have to think about it because like you're aware that like he's bullshitting you, and uh, it would have been a tool to awaken the masses. I would have created this thing, sold it, got people to like actually like understand the esoteric wisdom of the Bible. And I noticed, I posted some stuff on Reddit, and I noticed like immediately afterwards, like, oh, I'm getting some unusual, yeah, that's what happened. I'm getting some unusual attention. Like people, like I started getting like comments from um all sorts of people, like just random accounts and stuff talking about like the same things, like the filter, the great filter, the what causes life to not continuously expand into ever expanding, universal force, and just talking about like things like that, see where like my thoughts were on certain things, and then the fucking brainwashing happened. Pro tip: you take LSD, you will be if you take LSD and are of interest, you will be MK Ultra. Um, it's from that night. Like me and Alan have been like on two completely different realities, and it just I don't know. I enjoy this reality. I like being a completely crazy person because it's fun. I can just have fun all day long. You're making a 10 behind it. Narrative. So, anyways, yeah, the Illuminati said, "Nope, you're not waking up, everyone. You're going to be a crazy person and wake up those who are willing to listen, because if the entire body, just became a nervous system, like it just like everything would just die. And we need muscle, we need lungs, we need a digestive system. Mm. At least until we can beat God at his own game. Entropy. Once we can fundamentally overcome entropy, we'd be in heaven, and it would be boring, and we would destroy it, and we'd go back to doing this. uh, Illuminati is just the 1%. We are the 1%. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually kind of funny. Like you think in like the normal context of that, like 1% owns the money and then 99% doesn't. No, it's like 1% like understands what's going on. 99% is asleep. Uh, I'm like dead tired. Been kept up till 4 a.m. and then getting 3 minutes of sleep. It's good for the brain. Good, it gets you everything fluid. Have you seen PBS Space Time's Maxwell's Demon? We have the technology to reverse entropy with machines. Have not heard that. Possible. Also possible propaganda. Like I can't like a part of like being schizophrenic is like I don't have a single reality I live in. I live in all the realities. Like my brain just doesn't filter. Um, Hello. Uh, Surfing is my thing. It's so cool. We have a second person joining us. Um, can you react to videos? I don't know. I, I guess. We're kind of just having a dialogue about completely sane and rational things right now. Um, this guy's cool. Oh, thank you. Or I don't know, talking about them or whatever. Can you please react to the video called Pie Note Mr. Zoink? Pie Note Mr. Zoink. Why not? Um, I gotta get my headphones so that uh, the CIA can, send more tinness into my ears. High note, Mr. Zoink. What is this? Let's see what this is. 309. Sesame Studios. Musical world of Mr. Zoink. I like the purple trees. I like pie. Go low. Wow. I can make that noise. Um, a bobo fruit. I like this. Like I like the uh I don't know, like the sound effects, like they're just having something cute like that. Bobo fruit. Lubidoo pot. The flippity fruit. It's pretty cute. uh, um, I don't know. Just like I like things like that, like little musical like things, like noise. Uh, as a juggler, my brain's really tuned to um, like things tied to like time and space. Time and space are the same thing, but um, like our brains developed around spatial law. Like you figure the first species with brains would have the first function of any brain would have been navigating through you know this three-dimensional space, and over time that recursively improves and gets filtered through extinction events, things like that, until you get like a species that would like our canopy dwelling ape ancestors. What did they have to use their brain for? Like navigating through the branches and vines and all that. Like navigating using your ability to perceive what's right in front of you and execute on it. It's like our brains are made for like music and stuff like that. So you do sound like Jamie Foxx. I was not aware of that. I, up till um, a few weeks ago, I pretty much hated my voice, and then I started, rapping, singing, talking, things like that, and it's like, okay, it's not that bad. I'm getting some feedback that I'm not a complete freak. I'm still a freak, but where did you learn to juggle? I taught myself. Um, it's that's another story. That actually, I said I got roped into the Illuminati, like doing that, but um, before that, I this was like 4 years ago now. I was I made a post on R4R, which is on Reddit, and I got a response from someone who lived in the area, and he we met up and like found out like he was selling all sorts of stuff. Started buying LSD and stuff off him. Started hanging out with him. Like he was like a real cool guy. He had a lot of friends, and like it was nice because like I was still in like super isolationist mode. Um, and like we got there, um, I, like it was obvious like they were like trying to manipulate me, and like I was super paranoid at the time because me, and uh, like it was I was became aware that they were trying to like push like music, try to make music. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if you made music? It was like, I don't trust you. Double smoke screen. I'm gonna learn to juggle instead. and uh, I don't know, just I started doing it. I had my brother had like these balls in his like little toy box thing. I just started started doing this, and this is how it all started. Just doing this, and I know just kept building and building and building. Keeps recursively improving even to this day, and I don't know it's the one thing that I have found that perfectly tickles my brain. If I I don't know if I'm a man, if I'm a woman, if I'm fucking anything, but I know I'm a juggler. Fuck yeah. It's always obvious when people try to manipulate you. They're overly nice and suggestive. Good to know. Like I noticed that. Like I can always tell. Like, oh, you're a car salesman. Okay. Um, it just. Mm, uh, when I was in the cult, like fucking Earth Nation, fucking Love Cycle, it was obvious that everything was deliberate manipulation, shit like that. And but like the way they did it completely robbed us of our consent. It starting to get some emotions. Gotta repress that shit. Uh, anyways, it's amazing the level that people can manipulate others, control others. Sociopaths, the reptile people, those cold-blooded individuals with forked tongues. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they treat humans like cattle, and you know, it- how the brain works. You know how the human archetype generally reacts, works, whatever. Um, you can create a system around someone and reprogram them. and that's what they did. I don't know. It's like, you see this? You see that? See that? That's how I escaped. That's how the fuck I got out of that shit. Because it wasn't just like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself. It was a I had to plan around like the possible realities I could have been in. It's possible uh like I had to have like this had like contingencies on contingencies. And like the main goal was try to get to the hospital so I could like tell someone that wasn't part of this shit, what was going on. Didn't happen. Like got completely roped in, manipulated again. But it alerted the property owners that something was wrong. Like this, project, something must be up. And so they started like poking, prodding, asking questions, and that's what ultimately like caused everything to fall apart for Daniela, fucking sociopath that I'm a master healer. Here, tell me your traumas. You just yeah, I'm not gonna cry. It's not like a horrifically traumatic experience or anything. So like schizophrenia, it's a fun disorder. Like it always feels like I'm being communicated with. Like my dad, like he used to hunt, and he has this trophy like deer head, and it's like cocking its head this way, and I know it's like looking at me. Like I know that eye's a camera, and it's a dead animal. It's stuffed, but it's communicating telepathically with me. uh, hmm. I've been doing this for an hour. Like I'm a sane person. Uh, Kind of sweaty because I had to turn the AC off because it just in the background, and I don't think that's a good for views for all two people watching this. um, I've been learning to beatbox for a while, like on and off. When I used to work at Wegmans, and like yeah, I was a dishwasher. Fucking terrible job. Just drove me up the wall, made me really symptomatic and shit. And like after work or like during work, even I would just like practice beatboxing and stuff. Not amazing at it, but I enjoy it. Something I could do with juggling. Um, what else is going on in my life? Generally lone, such as being a crazy person. It's not like anyone even resonates on my wavelength. How can I find the others when I am so far on the bell curve? Yeah, I can feel like my brain just starting to slow down. More coffee. This whole 3 minutes of sleep thing isn't fucking gonna work out long term. Also getting really sweaty because I had to turn the AC off. My attention's kind of all over the place. Like I get it's just sleep deprivation. It just comes with the territory. Like I can feel like the dream world, like coming into like my world. Like the barrier is just like dissolving. Like when I smoke weed, I can feel that. Like it makes like that dream state, come more real, and I can see like that's why it makes people more symptomatic, because it breaks down like the barrier between those two worlds. And uh, if you haven't like conquered your inner demons or whatever, um, or healed them, or yeah, I think healing's better than saying conquering. But if you haven't done that, like a lot of like problems could get stirred up in here. Um, because otherwise, I don't know. I use it for like pure creativity. Um, this whole like Eris madness thing. Like that's where um, there's like an ordered mind, which is very structured, and like that's good for a lot of tasks, functioning, things like that. But for like creativity, which is like combining ideas, you really need um, you know a more chaotic mind. Just a lot of feminine energy. Fucking. So I was gonna do this for like 3 hours. It's not fucking happening. And this is actually pretty soon, because it's evolving very quickly. Like I can just feel my thoughts slowing down, and falling asleep like as I speak. Uh, I'm just looking at the microphone thing. It says it's only doing 1 bip. Hopefully I haven't been talking like this the whole time and you can't even hear me. But it's glitching or something a bit. You sound robotic. I'm starting to go into robot mode. It's autopilot. Um, if it's fucking up, I might as well you know, switch it off. Been doing it an hour. It's an hour longer than the next longest live stream I've ever done. Uh, yeah, I think it. I think I'm gonna have to shut this down. Like I said, no sleep, no good. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully I didn't make a complete ass of myself. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what I said. Yeah, you too, man. I've been watching this in the future. Thank you. You just listen to a lot of classified information and through bullshit, and have a good experience whatever you're doing. Hasta la vista.